what Miles Davis, Max Roach, Dizzy, Charlie Parker, and those cats did, you know what it is. Not to take anything away from a cat like a Kenny G, if you will, who can play his instrument, but I couldn't consider Kenny G bebop. Some people have problems considering him jazz. He's a talented musician, but I couldn't compare him or put him in a class with Miles Davis, Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, etc. So in hip hop, which interesting hip hop bebop, there's such a close similarity in the name of those terms. I see now, because it's interesting, I was checking out this guy, and he's here in the room, King Khan. There's my man, I seen him perform last night. He was incredible rock and roll. Then I seen another group earlier, Brides, where's Mike?
Burning Brides.
The Burning Brides. And I noticed that what rock and roll does well is they tap into the vein of the best rock and roll music previously made. Not to say that they're not doing anything new, but when it feels right, you know it. The attitude, the swagger, the way cats just hit those simple chords and make you feel real good, you feel that intensity. And we've had a 10 or 15 year period of incredible hip hop music, now known as the golden era, you know what I'm saying? You go anywhere from like late mid 80s into late mid 90s, there's so many incredible records. So I don't think I was thinking last night, like I don't think it's anything wrong if cats really revisit what we know is as the dope era. You know what I'm saying? And go back and let's try to re-dabble in or remix or just reinterpret or stay in that well which we knew was really rich musically, culturally, lyrically, in terms of the sounds. Because just listening to some of your music, I was thinking like in terms of groups that were really advanced, but at the same time listening was very popular, like Modern Jazz Quartet and Sun Ra. These were cats that were going places that a lot of us didn't know how to get to. But when you put that music on and you go, wow, you know, I kind of get it. You know, it makes you understand. And so you look at the Wu, you know, those deeply thought out ideas and things like that are something that's really refreshing and rewarding. I want you to talk about your love and passion for the game of chess, which I know RZA has as well. And I know you guys go at it on the chessboard. Tell me a little bit about how that was something that you felt that you could make songs about and you reference oftentimes in your music.
I mean, chess is a great game. I mean, it's one of the best board games ever. And it's a strategic game. It's about planning ahead, thinking 3 steps ahead. It's about combinations. And it can be applied. I mean, the strategy behind chess can be applied to many different things. I once heard several grandmasters say that they don't make any decision in life without thinking about chess. You know, and grandmasters is just on another level as far as when it comes to chess. But I like the game personally. I'm fascinated about how the pieces move, how they all work together, you know, how it represents war, love, peace, fighting, you know, a little bit of all of that. And a lot of times when decisions I make and I go do things or there's something that comes up in life, I can also think about chess and relate it to chess. I mean, it's a game that I learned how to play when I was younger, I was about 9. And I learned from a cousin, and I never forgot the names of the pieces and how they move. But I only played 2 games that night when I learned. Then I never played again until I was about 20 something years old. I wish I would have gotten involved in it back then. So I started playing as an adult, but then I didn't read a book until about 10 years after that about chess, and then I realized, like, damn, I was playing for 10 years, and I don't know anything. You know, I've been playing for this long, so, you know, reading just, you know, got me more open to the game, and it's a beautiful thing. I got to play with Maurice Ashley, one of the first African-American grandmasters. You know, they have several now, but he was the first. And I got to sit down with him and do an interview. So
what was it, so you actually played chess with him?
Yes.
So was that, how did you go about that? Is that on the clock, or did you just,
well, we
play with it?
Well, first we talked about chess for about 2 hours. And then he said, let me see what your game is like. And then we sat down, he took the clock out, of course, and we were playing a handicap match. I was the handicap person. So he was...
How did you, I mean, explain the handicap game.
Like, well, handicap means like...
He'll spot you.
Yeah, he'll spot me more time.
Oh.
So I'll have 5 minutes and he'll have 1 minute. That's how we play. 5 minutes to 1 minute.
I see.
And most of the time, my time was running out. 5 minutes, and he would still have about 38 seconds on the board, or maybe more. And, but his idea and understanding for the game is just, I mean, it's fascinating to listen to grandmasters speak about chess and think like, if anyone ever heard Kasparov? Yeah. I mean, he was one of the greatest for years, like 20-something years. I mean, he retired the champ. He also played this computer called Big Blue.
IBM.
Yeah, one of the strongest computers, and he beat it. And this computer configurates, I think, 8 million moves a minute. But, you know, when we sit down and we really analyze and think about it, there's no computer that can match the brain. You know, the brain makes 100 billion calculations a second. So really, there's no comparison. But you know, computers are programmed to move and think fast, and so he ended up beating them. But his whole, you know, each won a game, and one game was a draw. But his whole concept and philosophy behind chess is just amazing, especially if you know how to play it. You know, there's so many things you learn. Like we learn in life or in mathematics that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, not in chess though. You know, so it has you thinking. But it's a great game. I mean, my album cover, Liquid Swords, is a chessboard. Most people don't know that. That's a match on a chessboard. That's how much I love the game. Where I decided to use that as a cover. And what's interesting about it is that one day I was playing a game of chess with Master Killer, and the game was over. He won the game, of course. But I first started playing again with him, he was beating me a lot. And this game was over, but the pieces were still on the board. So I just started drawing the pieces and sketching them out one day. And I drew all the pieces on the board the way they were. And then I just started like drawing weapons in their hands. I'm not an artist like that, but I just started doing it the best way I can. Because I was getting this vision of this board, and I drew this whole thing out. I'm like, imagine if that was war right there. And I thought about chess boxing. I said, we could use that for the cover of chess boxing. Then I was like, nah, it shouldn't be a single cover. It's bigger than that. And then I just held that. But that was 3 years before Liquid Swords. And I decided to use it as a cover.
It's interesting. You know, part of what I was doing when I was in China,